Everybody today is talking about Elon Musk's black eye and also his reported substance use issues, although the latter is really not anything new. But I want to talk about some other reporting about him today. It's almost 10:30 at night, and I have been putting off talking about this all day because I know I'm going to get really, really mad. It's not possible for me to talk about Elon Musk and the way he is committing a holocaust against the world's poorest people without getting incredibly worked up. So I will do my best to get through this video. So everybody is talking about this video from today.
I wanted to ask quickly, Mr. Musk, what is your eye okay? What happened to your eye? I noticed there's a bruise there.
Yeah, no, I was just messing around with the Lex, and I said, go ahead, punch me in the face, and he did. It turns out even a 5-year-old punching you in the face actually does.
That was accident?
I don't believe that for a goddamn second. I don't know about y'all. So that was Elon Musk today in the Oval Office for his farewell, blaming his child for his black eye. So Musk is leaving the White House with his tail between his legs. He thought he was going to buy himself a presidency, and that didn't work out how he thought. Now, there was speculation on social and independent media that he got that black eye from Scott Bessent. And I don't actually really want to talk right now about the ways that Elon Musk is a big fat fucking loser, how he thought he could buy a state Supreme Court race and he couldn't, how he thought that he was going to use Trump and be the puppet master in that presidency and that didn't work out for him, how his technocratic vision is not playing out how he wanted. He couldn't buy the election in Germany either. He destroyed his own brand, Tesla's in the toilet. I don't actually want to talk about all of that right now. And I think there's a place for calling out his buffoonery. There's absolutely a place at which we should rejoice in his failures. And thank God he is failing out of American politics. And there was other reporting today about all his substance use issues. And again, that's not new news. But these two pieces of reporting, that he's got a black eye and its dubious origins, and the fact that he's in a K-hole 24/7, that's not really what we should be focusing on. Because even though Elon Musk is being laughed out of the White House, or like punched out of the White House, because even though he has been rightfully mocked for being high as balls on Special K all of the fucking time, we should not in any way minimize the devastating consequences of having had him entangled in American government. I have been saying since he got involved with DOGE that Elon Musk is committing a holocaust against the world's poorest people, that he is a eugenicist, and the illegal things he has done through DOGE have, according to the New York Times and Save the Children, cost potentially millions of lives. And so what I want us to focus on is a piece that came out in the New York Times today entitled "Elon Musk's Legacy is Disease, Starvation, and Death." It's by Michelle Goldberg, and I think this is a really important piece of journalism. I don't give a rat's ass about his black eye or his substance use issues. What this man has done is resulting in the deaths of millions of people. And I will continue to use the word Holocaust because there is no other term. It is 100% accurate, completely descriptive of what he's done. We cannot rejoice in him being out of our government until we can undo the devastation that he has caused. The longer we wait to fix the things he has wrecked, the more people will die. Every single day there are people dying as a result of what he has done to USAID and multiple other governmental programs. Okay, I'm going to quote from Michelle's article here. There is an Elon Musk post on X, Twitter, his social media platform, that should define his legacy. Quote, "We spent the weekend feeding USAID into the wood chipper," end quote, he wrote on February 3rd. He could have, quote, "gone to some great parties, did that instead," end quote. Told you it's going to be really hard for me to read this and not get absolutely incensed. Like, as I'm reading this article to you, people are dying because of Elon Musk. Musk's absurd scheme to save the government $1 trillion by slashing waste, fraud, and abuse has been a failure. The Department of Government Efficiency, it was never a real governmental department, claims it saved $175 billion, but experts say that's absolutely not true. Let's be clear, he never cared about saving money. That was never the goal. That was a ruse. There was never any intention to find waste, fraud, and abuse. Meanwhile, according to the Partnership for Public Service, which studies the federal workforce, DOGE's attacks on government personnel, its firings, rehirings, use of paid administrative leave, and all of the associated lack of productivity have cost upwards of $133 billion. Even before the cost that the government has eaten defending itself against all of the lawsuits that have been filed against DOGE. Musk's rampage through the bureaucracy might not have created any savings at all. Now, Musk's Washington adventure is coming to an end with the disillusioned billionaire announcing that he's leaving government behind. It sure is an uphill battle trying to improve things in Washington, D.C., to say the least, he said. There is one place, however, where Musk, with the help of his minions, I like to call them his band of Shitler youth, have achieved his goals. He did indeed shred the United States Agency for International Development. This regime says it has terminated more than 80% of all USAID grants. According to Brooke Nichols, an associate professor of global health at Boston University, what Elon Musk has done to USAID in less than 3 months has killed 300,000 people, most of them little children. That number will climb significantly by the end of the year. At this rate, that will be more than 1 million people dead in less than a year. That's what Musk's forays into politics have accomplished. The White House continues to deny that what they did to USAID has had any fatal consequences. At a hearing of the House last week, Democrats confronted Secretary of State Marco Rubio with Nicholas Kristof's reporting from East Africa documenting suffering and death caused by the withdrawal of aid. Rubio insisted no such deaths have happened. But the people who are in the field say he is lying or misinformed. I'm going to go with the first one. There's been a major increase in the number of patients with advanced HIV symptoms, a result of losing access to antiretroviral medication provided by USAID. At refugee camps on the border of South Sudan, food aid has been cut so severely that people are getting less than 30% of the calories they need. They are starving to death. We are seeing skyrocketing levels of severe malnutrition and deaths associated with it. Musk apparently did not anticipate that it would be bad PR for the world's richest man to take food and medicine away from the poorest children of the world. The Washington Post reported that Musk hadn't foreseen the, quote, intensity of the blowback to his role in politics over the past year. He's been trying to do what Axios has called a, quote, image rehab tour. Meanwhile, people are dying every single day. If there were justice in the world, Musk would never be able to repair his reputation, at least not without devoting the bulk of his fortune to easing the misery he's engendered. Oh, justice would take a lot more than that. Musk's sojourn into government has revealed severe flaws in his character, a blithe, dehumanizing cruelty, and a deadly incuriosity. This should shape how he's seen for the rest of his public life. Musk refers to people he holds in contempt as NPCs, video games speak for characters who aren't controlled by players and thus have no agency. More than just an insult, the term, I think, reveals something about his worldview. He either doesn't view most other people as entirely real, or he doesn't see the point of treating them as such. As he told Joe Rogan this year, the fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy, referring to the emotion of empathy as a, quote, bug in our system. I don't think Trumpers are particularly moved by the suffering and the deaths that Elon Musk has inflicted through his illegal actions, the way he has slashed really important programs. In fact, I've heard from Trumpers who say those countries should take care of their own. We'll take care of our own. Really? Are we taking care of our children here? Are we taking care of our poor, our disabled? Are we really providing for Americans by slashing Medicaid and SNAP and free school lunch for poor kids? I don't know why MAGA is not crushed under the weight of examining what Elon Musk has done. The fact that people are dying every single day because we are allowing Musk's illegal actions to stand. The rest of this editorial goes on to talk about how Elon Musk's reputation should be ruined. How Michelle Obama said, being president doesn't change who you are, it reveals who you are, and how the same thing is true of Musk meddling in government. It revealed who he is for the entire world. Okay, good. Great that we shone a light on what a deplorable human being he is, how he's a Nazi, how he's a eugenicist, how he calls every working class person, every person in poverty, every veteran, every disabled person, every child. He calls all of us the parasite class. What good does it do us to know that about him if we don't stop the Holocaust that he has started. Every day, little children are starving to death. They're dying from lack of access to basic medical care. Folks dying of TB, AIDS, those deaths are on Elon Musk's hands.